Hello everybody, we are here again on the floor of TechNet Cyber at booth 3150. Today I'm with my friends at Seclore and how they secure digital assets across domains. With me today is Mark Sutera, VP of Sales, and
Hello.
Scott Kelley, the Principal Solutions Architect at Seclore. And I just want to start the conversation, guys. We're hearing a lot today from various aspects. What are the challenges that really speak to what the solution offers here?
Data breaches, AI, it all surrounds data. Everything revolves around the data. Data is the new gold, it's a new commodity. Outside your employees, the most critical asset any firm has, and the mission is to protect that data. So when you bring in a data loss prevention tool, CASB, or other technologies, which is important, you're discovering, maybe classifying, but you're not actually protecting the most valuable asset. The data. So you're just saying, hey, here's a laundry list of what you should take when the breach occurs. You're making it very easy for the malicious actors to exfiltrate important data. So why not protect the data, sleep easy at night, and have full control, visibility, and protection wherever that data goes.
Excellent. And we were speaking just moments earlier. You had a great analogy of the walls are getting higher to protect what we think is sensitive, but threats are making bigger catapults. So can you walk through that analogy? I really resonated with it.
Thanks, Simon. No, and I have to resound on what Mark said. Over the years, I've been doing this 20, 30 years, right? From the DLP, the CASBs, everything that you can think about in the market. The one thing is that we all know that the most resourceful aspect or asset within an organization is data. It's more valuable than even the oil and gas today, right? The data is what the adversaries are after, and in order to do that, they're building a little catapult and they come over. And if you look year over year for the past 15, 20 plus years, the one thing that's been holding true is that they're winning. They keep building that bigger catapult, and then we come to these conferences such as this, and we keep saying, hey, buy my new architecture, buy my new silver bullet to kill these new werewolves, or whatever the case may be. I'm sorry, it's an adversary, and they're coming in. And it's no longer if, it's when they get access to that. When they get access, they're not stealing your employees, they're not stealing your hardware, they're stealing your data. So why not go back what we used to do about 18 years ago and protect the data? We used to encrypt it. Well, the problem is that encryption, though it's good, I mean, the 768 asymmetric encryption was already broken. The one thing that's held true is 256 AES bit encryption, which the military and the government still uses for the most top secret documents, has not been broken. It's still post-quantum computer compliant. There we go with another one. Post-quantum computer compliancy up to the year at least 2050 right now. With more and more of the quantum computing coming out, we must ensure, and that's why we're already looking forward to the next generation of that encryption aspect to make sure that data stays secure. But encryption is only worth of, well, we'll just say the password that you place on it or the application that you use with it. Because if I gave you a document that's my data, and I would need to share it with you because organizations cannot grow organically without sharing that data. They have to, and we all know that. If I need to share that data with you, DLPs will stop it. So we place all these exclusions in our DLPs, our CASBs and everything. I get to share that data with you, but then I lose all visibility. 8 years ago, we had this big thing called shadow IT, and it was resolved by placing campaigns out there. The shadow IT allowed your users to be able to, or should I say the IT, to understand what your users are going to these nefarious websites. And then identify, give the visibility, and then control, place the controls back into the organization so they're not going to these nasty websites. We don't want them to do that. Well, now just look at it from a shadow data perspective. Once I share that data with you, what do I know? Nothing. Let me just walk away. Because that's exactly what's happening. If it's sensitive data, top secret, it doesn't really matter. If I'm sending you the data, I should have visibility. I should have control of that data. And if it's just encryption, well, once you open Pandora's box, you can do whatever you want with it. Think of Snowden. Oops, sorry, didn't mean to say that, but you know.
Yeah, there's a lot of emotions. So I mean, when it really comes to it, I resonate greatly, and I think a lot of mission leaders do to protect what they want to speak to, but also it's information assurance, improving communication, and then a feature that is taking people's attention is this revoking, right? When an email or attachment leaves an environment, I've never heard it before. How do you guys kind of look at that, right? That revoking that outside?
So,
Go ahead,
and that goes with the encryption. I can allow you to have it, right? But that's the problem. What Seclore does is an enterprise data rights management on top of that encryption, or should I say inside of it. And that enterprise data rights management gives you the who, what, when, where. Who has access to this data? What can they do with it? When? In other words, I can put a time bomb on it and say in 7 days you lose access.
Wow.
And then where you can access this, or where you have to be in order to access this data. But the cool thing is, if I share some data with you, Simon, and I just don't like you anymore, I can click a button. I don't care if you put that data on your wife's computer, your kid's computer, anywhere. You can be, sitting, sipping Mai Tais on a beach out somewhere else, and I can click a button, and you no longer have access to that data. You're not in my network, you're on yours. And oh, by the way, we can do all that without an agent.
I want to add one other thing,
Oh,
is
go ahead.
the audit logs. So you'll, like Scott said, you'll have the full who, what, where, and when. You'll have audit logs of that, which you can go through and see what people are doing who are authorized and who is not authorized. Most importantly, you'll have a status of unsuccessful.
I have to say, we had a moment. I think there's much more to discuss, but in terms of securing your information and sensitive data, being in control and revoking access on your terms, and then preventing the cost of a breach that's known that's going to happen, and not letting it be at all a worry, because you're certain that your sensitive data is safe. See a lot of this in RMF. People are aware that you got to look at it, and I'm welcome to speak to you about it. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.